Thursday, 28 April, The Gap News this morning, podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. Good morning. First the headlines. Mask outdoors no longer mandatory from May 1st, says Khairy. RON 97 up 13 cent, other fuel prices unchanged. Plus welcomes toll waiver announcement. Recent criticisms of judiciary have gone overboard, says Chief Justice. 6 policemen in remand over escaped prisoner in Bayan Baru. Ukraine war, Putin warns against outside intervention in Ukraine. Indonesia widens export ban to include crude and refined palm oil. Aung San Suu Kyi, Myanmar sentences ex-leader to jail for corruption. And top seed Momota suffers shock early exit from Badminton Asia Championships. And now the news in full. Masks will no longer be mandatory for individuals outdoors, but will be required to be used indoors effective May 1st, Health Minister Khairy announced yesterday. The use of masks in outdoor places and open spaces is now optional, but strongly advised because masks are still able to reduce the spread of the virus. We will still enforce mask mandate indoors, he said during a press conference. He added that places such as malls and public transport will still require the use of masks with active enforcement against those not masked up. He said masks can be removed during indoor activities such as lifting weights if one is alone in an open indoor space, while eating and drinking, while delivering a speech, and during any performances. As for crowded outdoor events, Khairy said there will be no mask mandate in place, but strongly encourage their use to reduce the risk of infection, especially among those in the high-risk categories. The price of RON 97 will increase by 13 cent to 3 ringgit 94 cent per litre, the Finance Ministry announced Wednesday. The price of RON 95 is unchanged and will continue to retail at 2 ringgit 5 cent per litre. The price of diesel too remains at 2 ringgit 15 cent a litre. These prices will be effective until May 4th, 2022. Plus Malaysia Berhad welcomes the move to give toll waiver to Keluarga Malaysia plying the Plus Highway network on April 30th, May 1st, May 7th and May 8th in conjunction with the Idul Fitri celebrations as announced on 25th April by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob. At closed toll system highways or intercity highways, the toll waiver is given when the customer exits the highway through the toll plazas during the stipulated period. For traffic data recording purposes, touch-and-go card users are still required to tap their touch-and-go cards at the reader at the toll lane. However, no toll fare will be charged or deducted from the touch-and-go card. For RFID customers, they are to enter and exit the highway via the dedicated RFID lanes for traffic data recording purposes. Similar to the touch-and-go and smart tag users, no toll fare will be charged or deducted from their e-wallet. For touch-and-go card users, they are advised to check the validity of their touch-and-go card with Touch-and-Go Sendirian Berhad. Chief Justice Tun Tunku Maimun Tuan Mat said although judges are subjected to public criticism and were accountable to those they serve, unsubstantiated accusations made against judges and the judiciary recently have gone overboard. She said although citizens, including politicians, were free to criticize the judiciary to a certain extent, this does not mean they can level unfounded and scurrilous attacks against the judiciary or a particular judge to further their own ends. However, she said what has happened recently concerning accusations against judges and the judiciary, to her view, has gone overboard. 6 policemen were arrested to assist in the investigation into the case of a detainee who escaped from the Bayan Baru Central Lockup on Tuesday night. State Police Chief Dato' Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain said the policemen with the ranks of Constable, Corporal and Lance Corporal were remanded for 3 days starting Wednesday. Shuhaili said in the midnight incident, a detainee known as Azizi Muhammad Hassan managed to escape from the lockup. The 33-year-old man was arrested on April 20th on suspicion of being involved in a drug case. Ukraine war. Russia's president says any country interfering in Ukraine will be met with a lightning-fast response. Vladimir Putin says Russia will use tools no one else can boast of having if anyone creates unacceptable threats. Russian energy giant Gazprom says it has cut gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria over their refusal to pay in rubles. The EU accuses Russia of using energy to try to blackmail countries supporting Ukraine. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has meanwhile accused Russian special services of carrying out attacks in a breakaway region of Moldova. A court in military-ruled Myanmar has found former leader Aung San Suu Kyi guilty of corruption, the latest verdict in a series of secret trials. Ms. Suu Kyi has been under house arrest since February 2021 when a military coup ousted her elected government. The 76-year-old Nobel laureate has been charged with a raft of criminal offences, including voter fraud. She denies all accusations, and rights groups have condemned the court trials as a sham. The closed-door hearings in the capital Nay Pyi Taw has been shut to the public and media, and Ms. Suu Kyi's lawyers forbidden from speaking to journalists. Indonesia widened the scope of its export ban on raw materials for cooking oil to include crude and refined palm oil, among other products, its chief economic minister said Wednesday, leaving markets in shock over the latest policy reversal. The announcement flipped the minister's statement a day earlier, in which he had said the export ban would only cover refined, bleached, and deodorized palm oil. The change was in line with the president's decision, and after taking into account the feedback and views from the people, Airlangga Hartarto said in a short statement. President Joko Widodo said in a separate statement that the people's need for affordable food trumped revenue concerns for now. And now for some sports news. Two-time world champion Kento Momota suffered a shock first-round defeat Wednesday at the Badminton Asia Championships 2022 as his poor run of form hit a new low. Indonesia's Shiko Ara Dwi Widodo, ranked 52nd in the world, lost the first game but stormed back to stun the Japanese top seed 17-21, 21-17, 21-7 in just over an hour in Manila. In the women's singles, top seed and Momota's fellow Japanese, Akane Yamaguchi, had no such trouble with the 21-15, 21-9 demolition of India's Arkashi Kashyap in just 26 minutes. The 27-year-old Momota, a former world number one, but now ranked second behind Denmark's Victor Axelsen, said, "I couldn't cope with the wind and heat at the venue today." To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. Mass outdoors no longer mandatory from May 1st, says Khairy. RON 97 up 13 cents, other fuel prices unchanged. Plus welcomes toll waiver announcement. Recent criticisms of judiciary have gone overboard, says Chief Justice. 6 policemen in remand over escaped prisoner in Bayan Baru. Ukraine war. Putin warns against outside intervention in Ukraine. Indonesia widens export ban to include crude and refined palm oil. Aung San Suu Kyi, Myanmar sentences ex-leader to jail for corruption. And top seed Momota suffers a shock early exit from Badminton Asia Championships. This has been the Gap News this morning, Thursday, 28 April, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah.